Upon meeting, they felt an immediate attachment, as if something reached out and locked onto something within. They shared common ideas and interests. Each desired the company of the other. Their time together increased, consuming an ever-growing proportion of their waking lives. They felt that invisible bond, that grounding tether, what some describe as our heartstrings. They knew that they wanted to build something together. In time they joined and began creating a partnership. That new life emerged as a new being. To some, they were almost inseparable, as if the new life had replaced the individual parent lives. To others, the lives apart simply faded into the background of the us. They assembled a home, extended families, and formed new relationships with others. Old interests adapted, and new commitments grew. Sometimes old friends could not maintain ties with the new being emerging from their union. Old stories, edited and rewritten, joined new, co-authored tales. What happens to the heart in a loving relationship? The weight of the muscle seems to lighten as our hearts beat from a higher point in our chests. Do hearts actually connect, in some sense, imperceptible to monitors and analysis? When we're apart from the ones we love, our chests tighten, as if our hearts respond to our anxiety. Does some new heart emerge from the union of hearts? And if so, how can we envision this new heart entity that lacks form and that thrives only in symbiosis? Imagine a web of life threads between us all, connecting us all. And now imagine that sometimes special nodes emerge, floating in this ethereal plane of existence. Built from the shared lives and loving purposes of people, the special nodes beat with a life all their own. These heart nodes depend on those feeding it for sustenance, but experience their own unique sensations and experiences. Like our own organic hearts, these heart nodes built of human union possess health all their own, that can, in time, suffer damage and disease. The nature of this heart node disease derives not from bacteria or virus. No, the heart node, given birth out of love, dies from a single cause: starvation. The heart node, fed by the energy pulsing through our life webs, requires a rich and constant diet of compassion and care. Time passed and intervened on their love. Stress from work, family obligations, and the inevitable currents of time began to erode the carefully and lovingly constructed relationship. Age brought its own challenges, leaving consensus and compatibility harder to achieve. Mistaken actions, misspoken sentiments, misinterpreted words. They built their own defenses in response to the pressures of life. Over time, layer after layer accumulated, and these shells thickened around their hearts. The memories of love and life remained, but the calcifying crusts interrupted the flow of force from each to their heart node. Each recognized that their ailing special heart needed attention, but neither could find the path of healing among the infinity of detours. The thread connecting their lives paled and withered. The heart node they had planted and cultivated, that bore fruit and seed, now shriveled. Only weak, reflexive energies remained, and no longer sustained the special node of their love. Most of us know the anguish of a broken heart. When the bond between us and another severs, that pain hurts as deeply and as sharply as a blade. We can survive the wound, but the treatment requires much time and rehabilitation. One irony in our modern world is that we have this amazing capacity to mend the physical heart, while skill with our failing heart nodes eludes us. Imagine spiritual bypass surgery that could help us overcome the lengthy and painful recovery from a lost love. What if valve replacements existed as substitutes for those injured from the loss of a heart node connection? Instead, we comfort ourselves with the notion that such wounds exist somehow naturally. We accept the trauma of lost threads to our heart nodes as something we must endure and from which we can mature and develop. But must we accept this logic? We learned the nature of the physical human heart through experimentation, through trial and error, through hands-on examination. But these webs of life don't exist on the physical plane, at least not the physical plane familiar to us. The heart nodes created out of human relationship elude medical probes and surgical expertise. To deny the inevitability of pain from diseased heart nodes, we must envision a new paradigm of exploring the nature of the web of life. He entered the worship service alone, an unfamiliar space with unfamiliar people. She set aside memories of the week past and thoughts of coming days. He settled into the seat, finding a position of comfort without distraction, a meditative pose. She examined the spaces between herself and others, between herself and the pulpit. He read the order of service and pondered its meanings. She scanned announcements of community dinners and discussions. They heard the music and listened to the words as they passed over the ears of those present, knowing that everyone listened to the same vibrations, but perhaps heard different sounds. They stood with others and sang, gaining the confidence of melody and lyrical linkages with the surrounding company. They recited words of covenant, promises those assembled agreed to maintain. More words, more sounds, colors, shapes, movement, a hand of friendship. He felt part of something. She felt her heart pushing against the boundaries of her chest. His heart seemed to draw energy from the surrounding sensory organs as skin tingled, eyes watered, mouth dried. She felt the movement, subtle vibrations, as if the heartbeats around her somehow moved the air itself.